Good morning and welcome to the first installment of the experimental promotional series, and this one will be the first section on abortion. I'm going to try and get through these as quickly as possible, 10 minutes or so per topic. So for those of you that are new, I usually keep a little bit of notes, some statistics. Usually I don't want to get things wrong. I try to be well cited in everything that I do. All of this information, feel free to go and look it up to make sure that I'm correct, alright, as you follow along. So the first one here on abortion is just a series of questions. I would like for anybody viewing this particular topic, go, if you will, to CBS This Morning. There, you can watch the video, I think, of the interview, and you can certainly find the questions in written form, which I have done with the most recent interview of the newest president of Planned Parenthood. Okay, that's Lena Wynn, I believe. I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong. But again, CBS This Morning. And just do me the favor of looking through the questions and the answers that were presented during that interview. The word abortion was actually not mentioned one time. And what this does in terms of Planned Parenthood as an organization is it promotes the notion that they're not an abortion provider, and that's not the case. In fact, as I have looked up here, 321,384 abortions based on their own annual reports from this previous fiscal year. Okay, so they do acknowledge it, so I think that they should have acknowledged that they do support you in this practice on a massive scale. In fact, I think that not only are they the nation's largest abortion provider, I think that they're probably the only major abortion provider in the country. I'm not sure if I'm right about that. So instead of the questions that you'll look up, I hope, and follow along that were asked, here are some things that I would have preferred in terms of helping society actually sit down and think about the tough aspects of what the practice is in terms of what it is that we do to humans, not just to the fetuses, but to the mothers. Okay, so number one, I would like to ask President Wynn, Dr. Wynn, smoking cigarettes has long been known to be harmful to human health. Specifically, why shouldn't pregnant women smoke? Does a pregnant woman's smoking only affect the mother? This is one I find interesting that I don't understand why the left-leaning mind doesn't ask itself. I see friends of mine that are far left ask themselves and promote this on social media on a regular basis. They get upset when they walk into a Walmart or a grocery store and they see a woman that's obviously pregnant and she's standing outside smoking a cigarette. Well, they don't say anything like that on a routine basis when they walk by someone smoking, so what is it about the woman being pregnant? I believe it's because psychologically they know perfectly well that it's harmful to the baby, to the human baby that's being carried by the mother. And that baby is innocent and it shouldn't be put through the practice of smoking, which we know is chemically hazardous to humans. Not just the mother's body, the other human body that's in there. Okay, so that to me it crosses hypocrisy and leaves it in the rear view mirror. There's no reason to be upset by exposing a baby to smoke if you're gonna be okay with promoting that we just kill it anyways. Okay, I don't understand that. Fake outrage is what it reminds me of. So the second one that I would like to ask is, Dr. Wynn, when we talk about the phrase pro-choice, what choice are we talking about? Okay, I don't know how she would answer this question, but I would like to guide her into the only answer that this actually is, and that is choosing to have an abortion. Okay, if I were able to sit down and interview her, I would walk her into that. It would be a gotcha situation. I would form my line of questioning so that she had to arrive at that conclusion, which is the only logical conclusion when we're discussing the whole pro-choice thing. That's the issue at hand. It's not whether women have the right to health services or anything like that. That's not what drives the debate. That's not what drives the anger on either side of the equation, and we all know this, okay? It's the end game. It's that the choice is to have an abortion, okay? So that would lead to the next question, which is, Dr. Wynn, what is an abortion? Okay, I'm not sure what her answer to that would be. It would be some kind of a politically correct statement. I don't think that she would actually give the answer, and again, I would walk her along further. So, the word abort means to end. So when a woman chooses to have an abortion, what is it that we are ending? The only logical answer to that, and the obvious answer that I'm sure that Dr. Wynn knows is the truth, is that we are ending the heartbeat of a human. I don't think it does society any good at all to throw softball questions at important societal topics. And quite frankly, these are topics that society needs to grapple with and needs to wrestle with in terms of a philosophical approach to understanding what it is that we're doing. All right. The argument is not about women's health or reproductive rights as it's often phrased. It's about whether or not it's okay to kill the thing that's growing inside a human when she becomes pregnant. And that thing is a human life. And I think that we need to discuss it in those terms so that we get to a point where we can reflect on the paths that we choose in an honest and upright way, and not disguise the terminology with political correctness and avoid certain words because we don't want it to sound the way that we know it will sound if we're talking about another human life. Okay, that's the end of this first section. I hope that some of you will find some interesting thought and reason within this particular section. Stay tuned for the next one.